Hello and welcome. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Just a quick reminder here. So you can use the buttons at the bottom of your window. We have the chat button, the reaction button, and as all of our presentations here at Red Rose University, we'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are located on the traditional lands of the Kusepsun and Lakwangin families, and it has been a long tradition of teaching and learning on these lands. I am Francisco Levi, and I'm an education specialist here at Red Rose University. And I'm so excited to be here with Dr. Deb Linehan, our program head. Hi, Deb. And Tim Kituri, our program manager. So we're here to explore this exciting program, and thank you both for being here. Also, we are here with some folks that you can't see on video. No, you actually can't see. Here with us is Tracy Summers from our enrollment team. Thank you for being here and helping answer any questions that come from today's session. So I'm gonna jump now to check the agenda. We would like to know a bit about who you are before. So please, you can just use our chat box and let us know where are you joining us from. I am currently on Sherman Gem building on campus in beautiful Victoria. You can tell us also what sector are you currently in, or what are you hoping to learn in today's session. That will help us to get a sense of what information we can provide to make you a good session of today's session. So while the introduction starts coming in, I'll explore how our day is going to look like. Next, we will move into a pretty brief exploration of the Red Rose University experience. Then we will move into a program overview and cap off with the application process and requirements walkthrough. And of course, we will leave time at the end of today's session for any questions that have come up, but please feel free to pop questions in the chat box as they come up for you. We're more than happy to engage as they come. Just a quick sec here. I want to admit more folks that are on the waiting room with us, and I want to check the chat box that I have here. Hi, Nicole, Yomi, Sam. Great to see you guys here. All right, let's move to explore a little bit about our location. So for those of you who haven't been on the island before, we are located in Victoria, the capital of British Columbia. This is a vibrant city on the southern tip of Vancouver Island. The region is full of attractions. We have year-round festivals, events, thriving culinary scene, which I personally enjoy a lot as I'm a foodie, and endless recreation opportunities. So Vancouver Island is noted for its natural beauty, and also we enjoy a mild coastal climate. The area offers year-round outdoors activities. You can do hiking, biking, golfing, kayaking, and many, many other sports. And even during the winter time, you can do skiing. It's only a few hours away from the campus. So jumping here to our campus and talking a bit more about our campus, you can see some photos of Hadley Castle. Close by, we have our Japanese gardens, which are beautiful. And not too far at all, we have our Esquimalt Lagoon. We're certainly so lucky to have this beautiful physical space. But besides this, we have actually been moving in online learning for over 25 years. So we are also experts in that field. What do we value here at Red Rose University? We see life as a qualification. So our doors were open with the purpose of doing things differently, and then they remain open in that sense. You will find here, as part of our programs, you will find professors who know your name and encourage communications. And equally important, our learning is based on life. So our students are the ones that bring real challenges from the workplace into the classroom, and you can expect to make connections for life. And you will see we were built differently with so many reasons, including our online learning components from the very beginning. One more thing here that it's really important for you to know is that we are a Ashoka Changemaker campus, which means that we extend changemaking through our culture of mentorship, collaboration, to create opportunities for students not only to learn, but to contribute with purpose and impact to the real world. And with that, I'll pass the microphone over to Deb and Tim.
Well, hello, everyone. It's really terrific to welcome you here today. And thank you, Francisco and Tracy, for assisting us. I love to see the diversity in the chat here and people coming from all over the world. We are pretty passionate about Masters Global Management. I'm the program head, so I look after the academic delivery. And over to Tim Kituri, our program manager. Tim?
Hi, everyone. So good to see you all and meet you. Thank you again, Francisco, Deb, Tracy. What a fun place to be on a sunny Tuesday. I'm also in Victoria. We're just talking about peacocks and geese and deer that are on campus. Such a pleasure to be here. I've been at Rural Roads for about 17 years and 11 of them at the MGM. It's a wonderful program, and we're really excited to share the unique value of the program. And my job is to support students throughout their journey as the program manager, looking after the administrative side. So welcome. I'm looking forward to hearing your questions. Thanks.
Yeah, you know, I have to go back to a sense of place. Like if you've been to the Railroads campus, Nicole, you might have, but maybe not the others. I mean, it's 500 acres of old growth forest and sitting next to the ocean. It's a pretty outstanding natural. And I think that's emblematic of Canada. Like it's clean, friendly, clean air, fresh water. And yeah, so anyway, I just want to put in a word about that. We're very fortunate to be here. So yes, let's advance, Francisco, to the next slide here and talk about the Master of Global Management. So what is the essence of this? And it is that we would like you to come away with a global mindset. And it's a business program. But what we find is that the people that are attracted to it tend to have either some background in global business, or they have an innate attraction to cultural knowledge and are curious about the world. And your professional experiences for those who have worked in places all around the world. These are the folks that are attracted to Master of Global Management, where you can really leverage that cultural knowledge. And, you know, maybe you're thinking of doing business all around the world and are intrigued about the complexities of that in the business world, but also the cultures that you're dealing with. But I would also say in Canada itself, it's a very multicultural, dynamically changing country. And so the businesses that are here really need folks with the professional business knowledge, but also with the cultural knowledge, because of just the way that our demographics are changing. And so it's an exciting time to explore Masters of Global Management. So let's flip over, Francisco, and Tim will tell you about how the program works and the delivery options.
Thank you, Deb. Yeah, this is, I think, a wonderful program at a very interesting time in history, and I think reflecting on what the value is of an education. I think this is, if any time, one of the most important things is to have a well-rounded, I would say, a globally recognized credential from an accredited institution like Royal Roads in a program like the MGM that covers so many different careers and personal, professional backgrounds. Francisco, I wonder whether you could launch our poll to just have a sense of which program,
yeah, absolutely,
models that we're thinking about, and then I can jump in. So we're going to ask you which one you're thinking about. We have an on-campus starting in September, a blended, which is the on-campus online, also starting in September, or January, for those of us that are thinking far ahead. And as you're taking a few minutes to do that, I'll talk about the delivery options that the MGM is 42 credits consisting of 12 courses that you're on delivered, and then completion option. So for the on-campus, we have a 12-month offering, which means that the 12 courses are done concurrently with your completion options, and you've done the program in 12 months. Extremely busy, not for the faint of heart, but an option nonetheless. And the more popular option is the 18-month. The students complete their courses over the 12 months on campus, and then 6 months jump into completion options. And also we have our blended delivery that combines on-campus and online learning. We start in September with a short 2-week residency on a beautiful campus in Victoria. And this intensive portion allows our students to connect with each other, connect with the campus, connect with the program and all our resources. And then we deliver the majority of the program online. So we have all of our students in all parts of the country, sometimes global, connecting with the program. And we have a second residency opportunity towards the end that is done in an international location. This is a capstone piece of the program for our blended students. And it is also 2 weeks in an international location where we're taking 2 courses, and the core content of those courses is that international immersion. Those details are given further into the program. So that is the delivery model on campus. And blended, do we have results yet from poll, just to get a sense of what students and what we are thinking about?
Yeah, sure, Tim. If you allow me, so we have 25% of interest in the on-campus in September. Yep. Then we have 50% interest in the blended in September, and 50% the on-campus in January 2024.
Oh, wow.
Oh, kind of all over.
Oh.
It's good. Okay, that's all right. We can talk about it all.
Talk about it, yeah.
So I guess we can go forward then into the on-campus structure. If you flip over,
thanks.
Go and Tim will talk about that.
Yeah, so our structure is really, as I said, quite straightforward. We start with foundations, 2 weeks that start with an online, and this is the structure for our on-campus delivery for students that are coming to spend 12 months on campus to fully immerse yourself in the MGM program. So our foundations is 2 weeks to get your feet wet, to get you back into the academic groove, to settle in. Many of our on-campus students have international background, so we are traveling, settling in, finding accommodation. And this period of foundations is critical to that settling into campus. We start then with on-campus quarters. We have 4 quarters. Each quarter has 3 courses. So 12 courses in total that span the 12 months. And after the 12 months, we are into our completion options. And we have a slide that will talk about what those completion options are and what they look like. And, but to summarize, for the 12-month, it is in your last two quarters, quarters 3 and 4, that student will be completing one of the global management project, which is a research-based completion option. Whereas for the 18-month, you're finishing your coursework and then jumping into a completion option. The next slide for the blended delivery. Yes. And for our blended delivery, it is pretty much a similar structure with a little bit longer delivery model. So we start with an on-campus residency for 2 weeks. That is right at the start of your course work. And it is in Victoria because we want to meet you, get to know you face to face. Our support team is always keen to get to know who you are and for you to get connected to each other as well. And that's in our first, the first immersion of the program. We'd start with 6 weeks online with coursework, and then for a 2-week residency, and then finish off your first distance delivery. And then you have 3 full distance learning sections where you're taking 2 courses at a time. And the 4th distance learning is your second residency, that is an international component. So that second residency comes at the end. And it is always such a good time to reconnect with friends and rekindle those relationships that have been growing throughout the year. So after that 5th distance learning, you then go into your completion options. So as you can see, as with the on campus, the structure is a scaffolding you're building on to as the courses progress. And I think Tracy has posted the schedules, so you can see what classes are, which courses are taken in which part of the delivery model, whether the on campus and your first, second, third, or 4th quarters, or the blended in distance 1 to 5. Those are the program schedules that look pretty much the same for all of our intakes. And I just invite you to take a look and get a sense of the courses and what that structure looks like. And I can go to the next slide, which talks about what are the completion options. So this is where we talk about the magic of the MGM. It is a generalist degree. One of the strengths of the program is that it fits almost any business-related background. And I'm still struggling to figure out whether there's anything that is not business-related, any industry or profession. We have people in any imaginable background, including medical doctors and chemists and physicians and all kinds of banking, marketing, you name it, we've had them in our program, all looking to leverage a business credential, a business idea, business content with global management and intercultural competencies. And so with the completion options, this is where students can truly personalize the program and make it meaningful to your professional and personal backgrounds. The main completion options attached to the MGM are the Global Management Project. This is available for the 12-month and the 18-month. It is akin to a research project, but very applied and focused on solutions. The next option is an internship research project. It is available only in the 18-month delivery. The internship combines work with a research project. So it is, we view it as the alternate to finding your data source within an organization. So doing research, but embedded in an organization. And that looks like an internship project. Most of the time, internships make sense when people are switching careers. So if you're looking to immerse yourself into a new career, and having some experience on the ground and doing research while you're within a new organization is where we find a lot of interest in this particular option. Then we have a wide range of graduate certificates that are delivered at Royal Roads. Francisco, I can't remember how many we have, but close to 20.
More than 20.
More than 20.
27. 27.
27. And growing.
Growing. Everything
Graduate
imaginable.
certificates are very lined with professional credentials. So just a quick example is a graduate certificate in strategic human resource management or financial analysis or project management. All of them very lined with professional credentials, allowing you to leverage the academic mastery of the MGM with a credential that is meaningful to your industry of choice. And next to the graduate certificate is a course-based options that we allow students and promote the use of courses from our general studies pool. So any courses that are available in our general studies can be used as a completion option for the MGM. This is a really good approach for that interdisciplinary element that we're looking at, so that you're walking away with a lens to attack and solve problems from a business perspective, but adding on disciplines from the School of Leadership, School of Communication and Culture, School of Tourism and Hospitality Management, Disaster and Emergency Management, a very, very diverse range of courses that you can use to leverage the program. This is an interesting, but also sometimes really complicated part of the program. And we spend a lot of time in foundations at the beginning and in your first quarter, really talking through your completion option. It's really good to get to know you, get to know your interests, and then help you work through completion options. There's a lot of support from our career management and career advice office and our faculty and the community at large that can help you work through which completion option makes the most sense. Yeah, that's quite a lot of words. And all of these are available for all of our delivery models, but we always have, again, that time in the middle at the beginning of the program to work with you to figure out which is the best option and how to inject it and implement it in your particular program structure that you have. And I'll quickly talk about the industry in the next slide.
Yeah.
The credentials that are available. We are a recognized and educational partner with FIT, the Forum for International Trade Training. This is an incredible organization based in Ottawa that provides foreign service professionals with particular trade designation, and they recognize MGM as meeting the academic requirements for the FIT diploma and also the Certified International Trade Practitioner designation. Again, speaking to that practical nature of the Master of Global Management that organizations like FIT recognize our program as meeting the academic requirements. So to walk away with this credential, it is the MGM, some, I think, 2 years of work experience in international trade, and either an exam or a project. And for the CITP designation, it's a full exam to have met the full requirements of the designation. But also for those that are thinking of trade, international trade specifically, this is one of the designations to consider. And next slide. That, as I mentioned, all of our completion options, one of the completion options is the graduate certificates, and many of them are industry recognized. I talked about the project management. So a graduate certificate in project management lines up with a PMP designation, project management professional. And with the same vein, like the FIT credential is the coursework from the graduate certificate, meets the academic requirements for the PMP, as well as the International Coach Federation and the Association of Change Management Professionals, Management Consulting. There are quite a few designations that are embedded in a majority of our graduate certificates. So again, thinking of how you apply the program, how you apply the long-term vision is going into industries that require these particular credentials. Leveraging our graduate certificate as part of your MGM gives you that leg up in getting these credentials and quickly being recognized in industry.
I think I'm just going to jump in there and make things even more complicated.
Yes, why not?
There's more completion options for you to specialize in. Firstly, I want to talk about our international partners for those folks who want to get more of that international flavor. We have partnerships with, for example, a variety of them, but Hamburg, Germany, the Kuhn University. We have an international semester abroad. So students can go to other countries and get 6 credits there, taking the courses in those universities. We're working with a partner in New Delhi, India for a digital transformational graduate certificate that will also qualify to transfer credits to the MGM program. We have a partnership with MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and they have 6 also diplomas in a variety of areas like finance, supply chain, operations, global development. And so all of these qualify for credits at the end of your MGM program. So it's quite wide open. And internally within railroads, we have another pathway. So all of these things that Tim is mentioning, you will get dual accreditation. So you would get your MGM, and then you might get an accreditation for project management or a graduate certificate, another thing that you can post on your resume. The MGM also qualifies for a dual degree. So if you complete the MGM program, you can then go forward either right after your program or at any time later with a time delay into the dual degree with the MBA at Railroads University. Essentially, what we've done is looked at courses that are somewhat similar and given credit for them back and forth between the 2 degrees. Someone finishing the MGM could take 6 more courses in about 1 year and walk away with both an MGM and an MBA. And the differentiation between those 2 degrees, the MBA is more about executive leadership. So it would take that leadership component up to the next level. And of course, the MGM with the business and global management piece. So it's a nice option to consider. But again, as Tim says, lots of time to talk about these things. So if we can go forward, Francisco, I'll talk about what does it all mean? So certainly the business content, the course content is there, and you'll come away with a broad learning in all the business functions, whether it be marketing, finance, ethics, economics, geopolitical affairs, intercultural studies, change management, so many. So you'll come away with that content, but more importantly, we're interested in you having to build your other skills that are relevant to your personal and professional careers. So we're moving from a jobs economy to a skills economy. And so no matter what the jobs are, and they will be changing a lot in the future, we want you to be able to walk away and have really confidence in your communication skills, to have those critical thinking skills and be able to solve problems, work with others, innovation, and think globally. These are the skills that human resource professionals are looking for in the majority of jobs. Adding to that, I've noticed in many of the HR sites and with employer sites that they're looking at that cultural awareness, language skills, and adaptability. So I think MGM positions students very well to advance their careers. And the job market in Canada right now is quite good. So let's move to what are some of just a summary and then the jobs. So in summary, it's you've got the academic rigor of an MBA, add on that international focus and the potential for multiple accreditations, lots of flexibility in the delivery of the program and in the choices at the end, the ability to learn graduate research. The modalities of blended and on-campus, both programs are identical in their academic content, and we do see students are able to use that parallel program development for picking up courses from time to time. So it's very flexible. I guess the main thing is that it's cohort-based, and that's the magic of learning and being with others from such diverse backgrounds. A day in the life of our cohorts are, I'd say, 25 to 30 students. So it's very intimate. And so you get that chance to get to know others and build your network and learn from others, and to really leverage your multicultural competency as a value to Canadian society, I hope, if you're planning to move here, and your organization. So this is, I think, the place for you. And that picture is a picture of our blended international second residency in, was that Turkey or Germany? Last year we went to both Turkey and Germany. So each year we choose a different country, and sometimes two countries, to finalize. You can see that was a plant visit at a very big plant, maybe Amazon or an automotive plant. And so
it's in Germany.
Germany, okay, great. And I think, Tim, you were at that one. So it's very exciting, lots of fun. If we can go forward, Francisco, we're just wrapping up here. Where do students work? Everywhere. So this is just a very, very, very short, picking some companies. I guess that what you can walk away here with is students go to financial institutions, they go to consulting companies, they work at Railroads University, they work internationally, they work domestically in Canada, they work for government, they work for tech companies, they work for private companies, health, so all different industries, so that it's quite broad. And moving forward, some of the jobs, again, are equally diverse. You can see, a variety of things like financial analyst or business analyst, operations, marketing, human resources. So it depends kind of where you want to position your career, that how you kind of set up the courses in especially the completion options or specializations. And the last one on here is entrepreneur. What I notice is that a lot of MGM students start businesses. And so I think this is a good launch point for that. So many use the GMP, the Global Management Project, to potentially do a market study or feasibility analysis for a business that they want to launch as well. So I guess it's all up to you guys what you want in your careers. So that's the MGM in a snapshot, and then I'll just turn it over to Francisco for a few words about how to apply, and then we'll open up for questions.
Thanks, Deb. Yeah, I'm gonna I'm going to talk about admissions requirements. So here at Railroads University, we have two admission pathways. So we will start with the standard admissions, and then we will continue with our flexible admissions. So standard admissions requires the completion of either an undergraduate 4-year or comparable degree, or a graduate degree in a related field with a minimum GPA of B or 3.0 from a recognized post-secondary institution, and at least 2 years for this program of relevant full-time work experience, preferably at a management or supervisory level. And just remember that applicants who meet the degree requirement but not the GPA requirement will normally be required to take the academic writing and critical thinking and obtain a minimum final grade of B. So moving to flexible admissions. So flexible admissions can also be conceptualized as the professional pathway. So for those learners who may not have a traditional academic background, but have been working in their field for a set period of time and have acquired that lived experience that is so relevant and appreciated in our classrooms. We do require more than 3 years of related post-secondary education with an average of below a B, and at least 4 years of relevant full-time work experience, included some management experience. And also for applicants with 2 to 3 years of related post-secondary education, you should have at least 6 years of relevant full-time work experience, including 2 in a management role. And for those applicants with less than 2 years of related post-secondary education, should have at least 10 years of relevant full-time work experience, including 5 years in a management role. All right, we're moving now to the language requirement. So if English is the primary language of your institution and communication at Railroads University, so in the case that English is not your primary language, you must meet our English language requirements through one of these 3 ways: by submitting an official English language proficiency score. We require an IELTS 6.5 or TOEFL 88 or Duolingo English test of 115. Or whether you can present your certificate of graduation from a college or university at what English was the primary language of instruction in an English-speaking country, or the completion of a pathway program through the Global Learning and Language Center here at Railroads University. So how to apply? We have a quick snapshot here of the application process. It begins with an online application, which includes a fee of $131.39. And once that's in, we then look for some supporting documents. So as you can see here, we look for official transcripts and personal statements, detailed resume, as well as 2 letters of reference. And if you go to our website, we have some guiding questions as to what you should look at answering in that document. We are very specific in all the information we provide. So also for detailed resume, we have some information as to how that can be structured, and for the official transcripts as well, and the letters of reference, we have some guidance about how those documents can be submitted to. Now let's jump into the upcoming intakes. Some key dates here, and we're just around the corner to start of our next intake. So let's check some dates. So the blended program is starting on September 4, 2023, putting its application deadline at June 5th, 2023, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tim and Deb, but we will extend this to July, mid-July, right?
Yes, thank you.
And about our on-campus intake, it will begin on September 5th, 2023, and put its application deadline that already passed on March 5th. So I'm pretty sure some of you guys that are here are applying for or already applied for that intake. So that's great. And if you have any questions about that application, this is the right place and time to talk about it. And also reminding you that you can prepare for our next year's intake on January 15 next year, 2024, and apply before October 15 this year. So if you have any questions about upcoming intakes, please connect with us. We can provide you with that information and more. Moving into our next slide here, I want to talk a little bit about financial aid. So our financial aid and awards specialists have resources available to you both internally and externally. So if you're like to learn more about loans, awards, scholarships, and other types of funding, please connect with our financial aid and awards specialist. And don't forget, our enrollment advisors are available to help you and answer your questions, including in-depth program details, the application process, walkthrough, standard and flexible admissions, transfer agreements, campus student services, and connecting with faculty and alumni. So you're just ready to take the next step. And with that, we have come to the end of the presentation portion of our webinar today. So I'm gonna stop sharing the slides and take a peek at the chat box for some questions, as well as some questions that were submitted by folks who were unable to join us live, but I'm sure they're looking forward to our recording. Just a sec here, I'm just gonna stop the recording.